Hi there, folks. My name's Jason, and drawing cute little characters is my favorite thing to do. Thanks for joining me, and welcome to my third episode of sketching and drawing my cute cryptid characters in various funny situations. Since turning 50 almost 2 years ago now, I've been looking for a new purpose since, frankly, I've just been feeling lost. I know a lot of us are. Been in the animation industry and illustration industries for over 20 years. Sure, most of you know the industry's pretty dead, and honestly, I've kind of lost my passion because of it. Anyway, I've tried just about everything, but I keep coming back to doing these little one panel situational comic strips, kind of like The Far Side or Non Sequitur. Definitely recommend you check out that latter comic strip, it's very funny. I may branch out to things like 3D and sculpting. I've gotten very into sculpting, but until I'm comfortable with those mediums, I'm just going to keep drawing them. I call these guys the Lil Bitty Crypties, and they follow the misadventures of cartoonified cryptids I've created. Okay, so for this next one, I want to do something with my Bigfoot character, Bert. Now, Bert is kind of the grump of the group. He rarely, if ever, smiles. Maybe he's tired of being hunted all the time, whether it's literally or just people on their phones. Maybe he's tired of being called fake, or he's wondering why he always looks blurry in photos. I mean, who knows? Of course, I had to put the intrepid cryptid hunter from my first video, Sir Reginald Feathersby, in there. Love this dude. Clearly, he's hot on Bert's tail. He's so close, he can feel it now. I wondered, what do you suppose cryptozoologists dream about when they sleep? I figured Sir Reginald is probably tired of not being taken seriously. And on a side note, I never understood why many cryptozoologists aren't taken seriously. Yes, there are ones who make very out there claims. I'm looking at you, interdimensional Bigfoot. But the fact that we still find thousands of new species every year should allow the possibility for some of these things to be real. At least there's probably some relic populations of things we haven't seen for a while. I mean, look at the coelacanth. That's the one we always come back to, right? Anyway, I figured Sir Reggie would probably be dreaming of the fame, fortune, and most importantly, his legitimacy in the eyes of the world. Something a lot of us want, I imagine. I know I do. Mostly for me, I really just want to draw and create while making a living. Now, while I was thinking about what I would want to sketch, I wanted to show the juxtaposition of someone as small as Reginald bagging a creature as large as Bert. Since Sir Reginald is loosely based on Teddy Roosevelt, I wanted the cameras and reporters in his dream to appear more old-fashioned. I also wanted to show he's a sound sleeper since a creature as large as Bert is about to crush him in real life. Like I mentioned in the very first episode, I don't know if I'm going to stick with the darker humor, but we'll see. First thing I do, I paste in the thumbnail sketch in Clip Studio, and then I start roughing over it. As I mentioned in my first video, it's a throwback to the times I used to draw on pencil and paper, but as an animator and a lefty, we used to use blue color erase pencils to draw. And I've just sort of stuck with that. I don't like drawing in darker pencil. I don't really know why. I think it gives me flashbacks of smudging. Even with a smudge guard, I still smudge. I like to do fairly detailed thumbnails since it cuts down on the amount of mistakes or redraws I'll have to do in the roughing stages. It's not clear here, but I did lay this out according to the rule of thirds. So things are laid out to look a little more interesting, at least to me. Now, drawing Sir Reginald in that pose was definitely more challenging than I thought it would be, since his body is facing sort of away from us, and therefore he needed to be foreshortened. After I get the roughs in, it's time for inking. I'm using the custom sketchy inker I got off of Clip Studio Paint's marketplace, and I definitely recommend going in there and looking at the different brushes you can download. And then once I've downloaded it, I altered it to make it feel more me. As I mentioned in my previous video, I prefer textured brushes since they leave some life in the line for the cleanup process. After that, I have to figure out what to write on this motivational poster. I always go back and forth on these, and there's a good chance I'll end up changing ones I've already posted. I tend to do that, and I apologize if anybody gets attached to these. Otherwise, hopefully, I'll get more into the stories about these creatures as soon as I flesh them out more. I'd love to talk about the Patterson-Gimlin footage or Bigfoot, for example. Feel free to comment on what you'd like below. Ultimately, I decided on dreams. Chase them or they may squash you. What does everyone think? Otherwise, I'd love it if you hit the like and subscribe buttons. If you're curious what hardware I use, it's the XP Pen Pro 15.6-inch tablet and my trusty, although they don't make it anymore, Asus Flow X16 PC. Links below in the description, along with my sticker shop, lilbittycrypties.com, and my comic book, Faded Surviving Magic, over at www.fadedcomic.com. See you next week and stay cryptic.